Thank you, Ollie. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to the North East. The Riverside Stadium, cloudy skies up ahead, and here come the two teams out onto the field of play at the base of the main stand. Middlesbrough in red and Luton in all white. And Borough, when they're on form, can look like one of the best sides in the Championship. The problem so far this season has been finding that form on a consistent basis. Just look at their last three games. They blew a 3-1 lead to draw at Norwich. They were hammered here by Coventry, but then had a thumping victory at QPR in midweek. So which version of Middlesbrough will turn up today? Meanwhile, after a slow start, it looks like things are looking up for Rob Edwards and for Luton Town as they bid for an instant return to the top flight. They are still some way off the playoff positions, 7 points to be exact, but as we all know, in the Championship, a good run of form can catapult you up the table pretty quickly. All of the pre-match handshakes now taking place. The Riverside is about 2/3 to 3/4 full today. Close to 1,000 supporters have made the trip from Luton Town, and the training jackets are now being dispensed with. The team's going through the very final stages of the warm-ups today, as Middlesbrough here at the Riverside, and Luton will get the game off and underway. From right to left in the first half, all in white. That's towards the north end of the stadium where many Middlesbrough fans are. And Middlesbrough all in red, playing from left to right towards the south end here of the Riverside. The floodlights are on, there are clouds in the sky as Luton go long through Ted and Mengi, and he angles the ball out to the right wing, the far side of the field at Hashioka. He's blocked off by Luke Ayling, and Luton have a throw. So Middlesbrough with Dieng in goal, Dyke, Steele, Edmondson, Clark and Ayling, Hackney and Morris, Doak, Azaz and Bergzorg behind Latte Lath up front. And for Luton Town, Kaminski is the goalkeeper, Mengi, McGuinness and Holmes are the centre halves, Hashioka and Bell are the wing backs, Baptiste and Walsh in the middle, Chong, Adebayo and Woodrow the front three. Latte Lath could be clear inside the first few seconds. Goalkeeper Kaminski all in blue, quick off his line to hammer the ball downfield, and then George Edmondson with a header clear from the heart of the back line for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough and Luton both expected to compete at the top end of the Championship this season, Chris Awelamo, but this league, as we know, is so unpredictable, and it hasn't quite started that way for both teams, Luton in particular.
Yeah, I think it's unforgiving, the league, isn't it? If you don't start off well and gather that little bit of momentum, it can, certain teams can leave you behind. Okay, I think in a little period now, 5 points in 7 games. They have to kind of kick on from there. Luton, great result midweek. They have to build on that. A few changes today, but already you can see they're going very direct. Adebayo has such a massive part to play today. He's always going to be the outlet. The big battle is, Joe, they have to pick up second balls. If they're going to go a little bit more direct, a little bit quality down the sides and into feet, they need to support. They can't be up there and be isolated.
And 9 changes between the two sides today. On a relatively chilly lunchtime here in the North East. Middlesbrough have possession with Ayling. Slices his clearance towards his own penalty area, and Dyke Steele, the other fullback, did well to control that. And now he charges up towards halfway. Scored an own goal in midweek in the 4-1 win at QPR. Middlesbrough away from home have provided plenty of goals at late, but last time out of the Riverside they were hammered by Coventry. Luton have started to work things out at home, but it's on the road where Rob Edwards' side have had some trouble. Azaz under pressure immediately from Holmes, and now Chong, midway inside Middlesbrough territory, scoops the ball forward to the 6'4" Elijah Adebayo, unchallenged in the left wing position, and 1 or 2 murmurs from the Middlesbrough fans around us. We are right at the back of the main stand, the very back row. Just to the left of the halfway line is our Coventry position, a bird's eye view as Alex Morris holds onto the ball for Middlesbrough. Aidan Morris, deep inside his own half the field, he's tripped, and he wins a free kick. 0-0, Chris.
I've got to say it's excellent defending from Morris in the end, but I've been very impressed with Luton on the front foot. There's 4 that go and press, go and try and harry, try and force that error in that attacking third, and they actually regained possession of the ball, and they had some little bit of quality. It was Adebayo that was out in this left channel. You want him in the box receiving some service there, but at the minute, without the ball, that defensive line of Luton very, very high. They're going hunting and pressing. I thought they'd drop a little bit deeper, maybe for the first 5-10 minutes, frantic, go, be aggressive, be on the front foot, try and capitalise in that moment.
Well, they haven't been able to, as Dieng clears high and long downfield towards the left wing position. Emmanuel Lattelat, who finally has got a start again for Middlesbrough today, holds the ball up the big number 9 away towards the corner flag. Across came both McGuinness and Hashioka, and the Middlesbrough fans, particularly away to the right behind the South Stand goal. There are Middlesbrough fans on all 4 sides of the Riverside. They appeal vociferously for a free kick, but the referee is not remotely interested. Tony Harrington, the referee.
No, he was up to speed, wasn't he? I've got to say, great strength from Lattelat there, but it was McGuinness and Hashioka put the pressure on, won that throw in the defensive third, and that's what you need. You need to kind of come back and help your players out in those moments. But great strength. He's always an outlet, Lattelat.
Also one of those former Scotland striker with us for commentary this lunchtime on TalkSport 2, and West Ham against Everton live from the Premier League at 3 o'clock. Dykesteele trying to reach a ball threaded up the inside right channel, but Amari Bell, the Luton captain, is there to shepherd it behind a long-serving Amari Bell, who is equally comfortable playing as left back or left wing back as he's doing today. And Luton have had issues with the centre-half positions across the course of the campaign, but the problem that they've got today is no Alfie Doughty, and that's a big blow out with injury, Chris.
Yeah, I think his creative quality, the crosses from live play as well, defensively does his job, knows it, but everything from a dead ball, isn't it? Puts it right on the money. So I just feel that's a massive blow, as well as being a leader, communicating all the time as well.
Dykesteele gets across in front of Chong with a long curly hair, and then Holmes makes a half interception for Luton on the halfway line. Luton quickly win possession back. Michael Carrick and Rob Edwards on the edge of their respective technical areas. Chong charges down the left-hand side, flicks up a lovely cross into the penalty area. Ayling is there to clear away from Middlesbrough. Nobody in white for Luton quite timed the run well enough. Adebayo and Woodrow are decent in the air. No one was anywhere near the cross there.
It's an excellent tempo, though, isn't it? Both teams 100 miles an hour on the front foot. Can they pass forward? Okay, they're losing possession because they're trying the hard pass. Both teams are going to that, but great quality from Chong down this left-hand side from Luton. He's on the ball again. Yep.
0-0 the score. Chong has peeled away out into the left wing position, as you say, Chris. And now Bell with the gloves on, back to Holmes. Holmes midway inside Middlesbrough territory. Square ball to Liam Walsh, who's dinked the ball wide to the right-hand side. A clever pass, well controlled by Hashioka. Early cross deflected away. It came off Bergzorg. Now the loose ball is retrieved by Mengi, and Luton have started the better inside the first 6 minutes. Cross in by Walsh, high to the back post. It's overhit. Woodrow is unable to keep it in play this time. Doak is trying to shepherd the ball out of play for a throw on the near side, and he's done that. Middlesbrough throw in their right full-back position, but the visitors look brighter early on, don't they?
Winning the second balls, that's the thing. Every time it comes into that middle third, or coming out the Luton attacking third, boom, they're onto it, making sure that they're keeping that pressure on. Middlesbrough, okay, they're defending the lines, they're getting those clearances in, but they're having to defend straight away again. So important from a Middlesbrough point of view. Can Morris, can Hackney, can Azaz come back and start doing a little bit more, picking up those second balls?
We've got the first goal of the day in the EFL. Wrexham lead Mansfield by 1-0. Ryan Barnett has got that early goal for Wrexham in a top of the table clash in League One, third against fourth, and we'll keep you up to date with all of the goals as they go in from the early kick-offs in the EFL and the National League this lunchtime. And then we'll hand you over to London Stadium and the team at West Ham Everton. Here is Baptiste looking to burst down the middle for Luton, and Middlesbrough has started slowly here. Middlesbrough 0, Luton 0, live on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. 7 minutes played, a flicked header by Azaz, up to the halfway line, better from Middlesbrough. Lattelat hooks it over his shoulder, into the path of Doak, and the offside flag goes up, and Doak sheepishly let the ball trickle out of play. Had the body language of a player who knew he was in an offside position.
Well, he thought that ball was just going to be put over the top from Lattelat first time. He took a touch. I think he doesn't need to go, Doak, with the pace that he has as well, but it's a great defensive line. Amari Bell, just watching him, just having eye contact with the linesman, with Doak in between. It was excellent defending. But Doak doesn't have to gamble. He doesn't have to kind of try and steal a few yards there. He had the full half to run into.
18 years of age, Ben Doak. He had knee surgery last season, so Middlesbrough just keeping a keen, close eye on his fitness. Had an impressive run of form though in the side, hasn't he? Much brighter up ahead now at the Riverside. Still 0-0. Luton have possession with Chong. Luton 7 points off the playoffs. Lovely ball down the left-hand side to Bell. Bell with the opportunity to cross, but now he's offside. Lovely reverse ball threaded up the inside left channel by Tahith Chong. and Bell was racing clear of the full-back Dijksteel, but he was in an offside position.
That was very tight, wasn't it? I was right in line with that one there.
There's some monitors, haven't we, Chris?
Yeah, have a little look at that, because the linesman, the flag went up very, very early, but again, great quality. Chong, can he play forward? Yes, he can. He plays that pass, and that's what you have to do. You have to be brave, take on the hard passes, make sure you're picking up those second balls as they're doing.
Ball is on the halfway line, and a foul on Walsh this time by Delano Bergzorg. A rest start for him in the red of Middlesbrough today, just his 4th league start for the club since joining in the summer. Tenen Mengi takes the free kick quickly for Luton, out wide to Hashioka, far side of the field, the right hand channel. He's blocked off by the very experienced Ayling, who's happily filling in at left back today in the absence of Neto Borges. So Ayling has moved from right to left, and Dijksteel's the player who's come in. And a throw to Luton midway inside opposition territory. The atmosphere quite sedate at the moment. That's often the case in these early kick-offs, but a big crowd in attendance as the throw-in field from Hashioka is intercepted by Aidan Morris, and he looked to poke it through the middle to Latte Lath. It was well seen by the tall former Reading man Holmes, who came across to make a very quick interception, and Luton have it back midway inside their own half the field. I think Rob Edwards will be pleased with the first 9.5 minutes, Chris. 0-0.
Yeah, will be. I think it's all about end product. A few good crosses coming into the box as well. Definitely winning that midfield battle at the minute, albeit Aidan Morris there from Middlesbrough. Excellent, taking it on the chest. There's so much room in behind because the defensive line's so high. Latte Lath, if the ball is right, he's going to get some joy. It's just about that quality of pass.
Isn't it amazing, Chris? You look at the 2 head coaches on the touchline, and Ollie Klink mentioned it before the game, 2nd and 4th longest serving managers in the Championship respectively. Ball up the middle by Hackney, back from suspension, that's overhit, and Latte Lath can't reach it. It's amazing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and that's all you want, I think, as a manager, is that support and stability, so you can implement your ideas, and as a player you want that as well. I'm just saying there, what about Kaminsky? He's playing as the sweeper.
I tell you what, he's high up the pitch, isn't he? The goalkeeper.
He has to do it, because if the defensive line is as high as it is, he has to be the one sweeper up, because that little ball in behind is always an option for Middlesbrough.
0-0 the score. Matt Clark, the bald-headed centre-half, midway inside his own half the field, and now Morris takes up possession, the American. Square ball to the right-back spot, and Dijksteel gets it back from Doak. Right in front of the away dugout, and now Dijksteel forward towards halfway in Hackney. They pop the ball about really neatly, Middlesbrough, and actually when they really do get going, they're one of the best footballing sides in the Championship. I saw them at Norwich the other week for TalkSport 2, and in the first half they went 3-1 up with a sensational attacking display against a team in Norwich who haven't lost at home in a year now. But, as is their inconsistency, they were pegged back and it finished 3 apiece. Woodrow's ball in field for Luton is a poor one from the right back position, and it's cleared upfield by Hayden Hackney over the halfway line. Doak on the chase with Bell in contention. Doak holds up the play, he's held up by 2 in white, so has to prod it back to the halfway line.
It was a wrong ball, wasn't it? I think Ben Doak there got behind Chong and Amadi Bell. Hayden Hackney had the ball, he had the full half, he could just pass it into the path of Doak, and he's taken it in, no one's catching him there.
Yep.
He's tried to just dink it into the feet of Doak there. That was a wrong pass, and the quality that Hayden Hackney has as well, you should know that.
Good turn and explosive pace on halfway by Latte Lath, but then his touch was heavy. That allowed Mark McGuinness, the Burley centre-half, to make an interception. Middlesbrough have it back on the halfway line. And the first ripple of applause from the home supporters after that surging run from Emmanuel Latte Lath, who is making his first start today since the 19th of October. 2 recent goals off the bench, including a winner here against Sheffield United. Holmes will shepherd the ball back to goalkeeper Kaminsky, and Luton have possession. Burton 1, Shrewsbury 0 in League One. Burton, who start the afternoon as the team in League One without a victory so far this season. But they lead Shrewsbury, who are second bottom, by a 1-0. That battle of 2 early season strugglers. Burton 1, Shrewsbury 0. Here on TalkSport 2, the sun's come out of the riverside. I didn't think we were going to see it today, Chris, but we've got it. Now Chong on halfway. It's cold when Big Chris has got his woolly hat on. And gloves on the pitch. Some of the players are wearing gloves. It's that time of year now. Mark McGuinness on the ball for Luton. 10-yard ball forward to Walsh. Space, pocket of space inside the centre circle to steer it forward to Chong. Chong skips away from Morris. He threads the ball square. Clever ball to Baptiste. Baptiste with a high looping cross. Back post is Woodrow and Marks, and it's a poor cut back by Woodrow. No pressure whatsoever, and he very tamely floated it into the gloves of the goalkeeper, Seny Dieng.
Well, I think they're getting a lot of joy. You know, I think Chong, he's being direct, he's making things happen, he's committing defenders, and it's creating space for others. Baptiste, I don't mind the ball, and I think Woodrow has shown in time that he can take that one on, even with the left. I'm surprised he's not taking it on. He's watching the ball, he tried to fight the ball very well. It's just about the connection, with pace, with power. Try and work Dieng in the Middlesbrough goal, and then if it spills out, then you've got the Adebayo coming in and picking up the scraps.
Here is Doak, right wing position for Middlesbrough, this side of the field. Borough playing from left to right, all in red. He teases it back to Morris, quickly onto Hackney. Lovely touch by Hackney on the half turn, and he went for a chip almost over the goalkeeper. Tried to float it into the opposite top corner, and it was overhit and behind for a goal kick. But again, some enterprising football from Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough 0, Luton 0.
Excellent quality, isn't it, from Aidan Morris into Hackney. First time he kind of takes it around the corner, rolls his man, driving into the right hand side of the 18-yard box. He's got to hit it low and hard. I think he's leaning back, he's trying to generate the power, but he does have that quality to really trouble Kaminsky from that area. But it just shows you the threat of Middlesbrough. All one touch stuff. Hackney gets it in, arriving at the box at the right time as well, takes it in, and then has the quality to execute it, but just not the quality to hit the target.
A boyhood Borough fan is Hayden Hackney. It is great, by the way, to see Tony Mowbray here at the Riverside today. He's just a few seats along from us. Former Middlesbrough player and manager, summarising for our colleagues in local radio. That's great to see Tony Mowbray here today. Slide tackle on the halfway line by Baptiste, and he was caught. He caught Bergsorg, and the yellow card straight out of the pocket of the referee for Shandon Baptiste.
Yeah, I think the referee's got that one spot on. You know, very, very strong challenge, and it's one of them. It's risk and reward, isn't it? You're being very aggressive. You're on your front foot. You have to put these timely challenges. I'm just having a little look at it on the monitor. He's come in. You know what? I'm looking at it. It's a controlled challenge. He's actually got the ball first. He's hitting the ball into Aidan Morris.
It's right in front of the referee, Chris. He couldn't have been in any sort of better position to see it.
There is a momentum with the challenge, Joe, but it was a genuine attempt for the ball, Joe. And that's what I'm trying to say. He gets the ball, he hits the ball into Aidan Morris, but then the momentum takes him in to Aidan Morris as well. I'm a bit unlucky to receive the yellow card, but it is probably a free kick.
Word in the ear for the fourth official from Rob Edwards. Anyway, here come Middlesbrough. Doak is in down the right-hand side. He can cut it back across. He plays it square. Hackney can't reach it. He'll leave it for Ayling, who steers it over the top. Right-footed first time from just inside the penalty area. Doak's tease across the face of goal wasn't the best. Behind Bergsorg, behind Hackney. And then Ayling, the fullback, running onto it, yet to score for Middlesbrough, hammered it over the bar. Big chance, 16 gone. Middlesbrough 0, Luton 0 on TalkSport 2.
Massive opportunity, isn't it? And it was in behind Bergsorg, just in front of Hackney. It was like in between both. Ayling has to come onto it, I think, but he has to hit the target. You know, it's a lot of work to do because Luton have 5 players behind the ball there, but it just shows you the threat of Ben Doak down this right-hand side. I'm surprised he never took the shot on himself with the quality that he's shown.
But it wasn't like the angle was completely against him. Sort of inside right channel inside the penalty area, so not dead central, but he could have gone for goal. Now here's Ayling in the sunshine in the left back position. High ball downfield for Middlesbrough. And a stooping header away by McGuinness. Turning inside the centre circle is Walsh, and the ball just stuck to his feet like glue there. He was able to glide away from 2 in red. Baptiste steers it down the middle to the feet of Chong. He's half blocked off by Dyke-Steele, but the ricochet takes it into the path of Adebayo. Corner of the penalty area, left-hand side. Morris lunges in, had to time that challenge well. Dyke-Steele likewise, both did. And now Elijah Adebayo has been penalised for catching Dyke-Steele. And Middlesbrough will have a free kick.
Don't mind it at all. Adebayo getting at his defender, taking it in the box. I've got to say, excellent defending from Aidan Morris as well. Went all the way, timely got his body in between ball and man, scooped it away, and then Dyke-Steele comes in, and then Adebayo's trying to put pressure on him, gives the free kick away. That's where he has to be a little bit better, keep the pressure on for Luton, but excellent defending from Middlesbrough there.
Cardiff 0, Blackburn 1 is the latest score in the Championship. Andy Vyman for Blackburn, and McGuinness under pressure from the on-rushing Bergsorg, and he's been forced into the error It's a Middlesbrough throw down by the corner flag. Blackburn, by the way, have been on a poor run of late. And up against the Cardiff team, they've had a real revival under Omar Ritza. But Blackburn lead in South Wales by a 1-0. Live on your home of VFL here, TalkSport 2. Middlesbrough 0, Luton 0 in our commentary at the Riverside. West Ham against Everton to come at 3. And Liverpool against Aston Villa on TalkSport at 8 o'clock. We've got cricket for you tonight as well. England against the West Indies in the first T20 on TalkSport 2 from 7:30. Make sure you download our app. Free and easy to download. You can swipe between both stations at your leisure. That Middlesbrough throw came to nothing. They've gone back to the halfway line in Edmondson. Now Morris steers the ball square to Dykesdale, who rattles the ball against the shins of Chong. A little lucky there, Dykesdale. It was a poorly hit pass. Out of play for a Middlesbrough throw on the halfway line. And both head coaches, Carrick and Edwards, out gesticulating and providing instructions to their players. The two head coaches, of course, with big ambitions. Rob Edwards wants to be back in the Premier League. Poor clearance by the goalkeeper for Middlesbrough, Dieng, and now the ball has dropped to Walsh just inside opposition territory. Luton have the ball with Hashioka, dinks it over the top, header away by Clark, easy header away before it could reach Cauley Woodrow. And Middlesbrough have it back again, Chris.
Well, I've got to say, when Middlesbrough are in good possession of the ball, now they're moving it well.
Oh, Clark has given it away there to Hashioka, low ball in, Adebayo teases it up for Baptiste, who was blocked off at the last moment by Morris, and Hackney's cleared, a high diagonal ball out towards Doak. He miscontrols it, the Middlesbrough attack breaks down, but relief, no doubt, for Middlesbrough, because they were very nearly caught in possession and it nearly led to a goal.
Well, Chong's having a go. He's having a go with Rob Edwards. Adebayo, if he leaves it, Chong's coming onto that and he's getting the opportunity at goal. As soon as Adebayo takes a touch and sets it back, that opportunity's gone there, but good defending in the end. Hashioka, great little ball across as well.
Morris having to block off Shandon Baptiste. Entertaining first 20 minutes, but we're still waiting for the first goal of the game. York lead Hartlepool by a 1-0. York top of the National League. Clark inside the centre circle, thunders the ball downfield for Middlesbrough, all in hope rather than expectation. Doak will reach it though in a tangle of legs. He's held it up brilliantly away from Bell, down by the corner flag. He was surely being held. Referee plays the advantage. Excellent forward play by Doak, and he was certainly not fancied in that tangle with the much bigger Amari Bell. But Middlesbrough keep possession, and now they switch the ball from right to left, to the far side, and Latte Laf trying to peel away from Ted and Mengi. Mengi gets back at him, holds up play down by the dead ball line, and he shrugs aside Latte Laf, who ends up falling to the floor. Ironic cheers from the Luton supporters in one corner of the ground. Then it's scooped high downfield by George Edmondson. Header away from Hashioka for Luton. Middlesbrough have it on the halfway line with Dykesdale. Wide to the near side, and Doak again, who looks more likely than most, the 18-year-old, to make things happen so far today. 0-0.
Yeah, he's been good, hasn't he? You know, I think good energy as well. Just decision-making when he does get into that box and the opportunity presents itself. Could have taken a couple of shots on, even a little cutback that was probably the best opportunity so far. Just the way to pass was incorrect, wasn't it? But he's always looking to get him behind.
Clearance away by Mengi for Luton on the halfway line. Now Adebayo with his back to goal. He's about 30 yards out, right of centre. Finds Hashioka coming forward. Now on the far side, the right is Woodrow, almost hugging that touchline. Now Baptiste back to Walsh. Need football in the middle of the park from Luton, but Middlesbrough have got everybody in red behind the ball now, as we head towards the midway point of the first half on TalkSport 2. Hashioka, high looping cross. Adebayo chests it down towards Chong, smuggled away by Hackney this time for Middlesbrough. Now Luton retrieve it with Walsh. Pirouettes away from Bergzorg neatly. Made that look easy, did Walsh. And then Bergzorg slides it on Bell, and the Middlesbrough fans are furious. They're up out of their seats in front of us here, because Luton have a free kick midway inside opposition territory. Sort of left-wing position, in a dangerous area, this, Chris Williman.
Not a free kick in my opinion. You know, I think Bergzorg slides, all control of the ball, and again just kicks the ball into Bell there. You know, that's
good old-fashioned robust.
I just think the referee, you know, he has pulled them up a few challenges where it's a genuine attempt for the ball. Bergzorg actually gets the ball, and there's a contact. There's no contact with the Bell whatsoever. Yeah, there's a coming together, but it's a fair and genuine attempt for the ball there. But they have to capitalise. They have to defend from this.
And Luton have sent the centre halves, Holmes, Mengi, and McGuinness forward. Plenty of height inside the penalty area for Baptiste to aim at. Right-footed high, deep in-swinging cross to the back post, and up came Seny Dieng, the goalkeeper, all in bright yellow to pluck it out of the air. Middlesbrough 0, Luton 0.
Well, that's what you want from your goalkeeper. Those moments when the ball's right on the money, having that defender, he has to come out good hands. It just instills confidence in that defensive unit.
I tell you what, he was brilliant in midweek, wasn't he, Chris? It was a 4-1 win at QPR, but it could have been a lot closer, but for the way that Middlesbrough were clinical and for the form of their goalkeeper.
Yeah, it plays a massive part, doesn't it? I think it was 2 late goals, wasn't it, for Middlesbrough as well, but the goalkeeper has a job to do, and that's what he'll say. I'm just doing my job, but some fantastic saves.
Tommy Conway and Riley McGree both left on the bench today. That will have been a surprise. I think certainly that both were on the bench. Maybe we might have anticipated one of them being left out. But I think for some Middlesbrough fans that might have caused some consternation. On the halfway line for Middlesbrough is Azaz. Early ball down the middle. Poor clearance by McGuinness. Casual. Fell to Latte Laugh and he hit it early towards Bergsorg and Ted and Mengi. Read it well. Luton have the ball back again. Nudged forward over the halfway line by Baptiste with the red boots on to find Woodrow. A rare start for Woodrow in the league for Luton today, and they are slowed down as Middlesbrough get men back behind the ball.
But that's another big opportunity for Middlesbrough. Latila, he has a full half to run into, and he tries to play it. First time, I think he can drive, commit, Mengi. As soon as he comes towards you, then you can release. It's just one of them. He's trying to force the pass, trying to do all one-touch stuff. Commit, be aggressive, drive with the ball, commit your opposition player.
Still 0-0. And another busy weekend of EFL action on the TalkSport network. Ball back from Walsh to his goalkeeper, Kaminski. We brought you Watford 1, Oxford 0 last night. And we've got the Steel City derby for you tomorrow afternoon. 12:30 kickoff, United against Wednesday. For the biggest sporting day in the calendar in Sheffield. Twice a season, of course, and it's live and exclusive tomorrow on TalkSport 2. TalkSport will take you around the grounds. Here is Chong on the halfway line for Luton. He's been shrugged aside by Dijksteel, and Hackney takes up possession, but his touches aren't deft enough to get him beyond Holmes. Chong inside the centre circle now. Square ball to Baptiste. Woodrow to his immediate right. 25 yards out. Woodrow strikes it, pushed away by Dieng. Sort of punched that away two-handed, the goalkeeper, even though it was straight at him. Obviously didn't like the flight of that ball.
Well, that's it, Joe. I think there was a bit of movement on the ball. Struck very, very well from Woodrow from an angle, but from about 23-24 yards. I think Dieng never took any chances whatsoever, just made sure. Good connection.
Usually you see a goalkeeper punch the ball away like that, but you're right, it was swerving in the air, and Seny Dieng now has the ball. Middlesbrough goalkeeper all in yellow away to our left-hand side. Middlesbrough from left to right in the first half. No foul on Bergsorg on halfway by Mengi. Luton had possession back. Luton have had much more possession in this first half. That's a lovely ball by Walsh. Adebayo brings it down inside the area, nudges it backwards towards the edge of the box. Woodrow gets there. Woodrow in a tight area turns brilliantly. He's into the area. Right-footed shot charged down. Then Walsh on the half volley, just wide of goal. Couple of yards wide of Seny Dieng's right-hand post. The goalkeeper was statuesque. I don't think he was getting there, Chris.
I have to agree. I think I've got to say Liam Walsh has been outstanding. Not only winning possession, keeping possession, driving with the ball, making things happen. It wasn't the cleanest of strikes from the edge of the box. Great little run from Adebayo as well. It just got in bit, but when it fell to Walsh, it's a scruffy when he hits it into the ground. But I've got to say, Seny Dieng was rooted, wasn't he?
Luton very nearly in front. 0-0 the score on TalkSport 2. And we're in the 27th minute. Chong skipping forward towards the corner of the penalty area. This time he's blocked off by the tenacious Morris, and Azaz does well to hold up possession under the challenge of Adebayo. Back to Clark. He hoists a high ball downfield up towards Latte Laugh. He's beaten in the air by Mark McGuinness. Hashioka's flick. Luton will let the ball trickle out of play for a throw. Far side there, right wing position. Stoke 0, Millwall 0, the latest score in the Championship. Blackburn lead at Cardiff by a goal to 0. In League 1, Burton 1, Shrewsbury 0. Wrexham 1, Mansfield 0. Goalless between Harrogate and Morecambe, and Salford and Carlisle in League 2. And in the National League, Aldershot 0, Wilston 0, and York lead Hartlepool by a goal to 0. York City, who are top of the National League. You're up to date on TalkSport 2. West Ham against Everton is our Premier League commentary at 3 o'clock live from London Stadium. High diagonal ball by McGuinness for Luton. Good header away by the retreating Ayling. Diligent defensively there, the former Leeds man. Ailing forward now with his right foot up to halfway. Can't find either Latte Lath or Azaz. Mengi there to win it back for Luton Town, who you have to say have started pretty well, given their dreadful away form, Chris, which obviously goes back to the back end of last season in the Premier League, but even in the Championship this year, there's only one win on the road so far. Chong, dispossessed though by Morris. No foul given. Morris raiding down the near side of the right, corner of the penalty area, cuts it back towards Bergsorg, and that was a very good interception, lunging across by McGuinness. And that Middlesbrough attack comes to an end. Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, another opportunity, isn't it? Even Morris, I think he has to be direct. He's driving into the 18-yard box, waiting for a player to kind of make his mind up. Go be aggressive. Go and get yourself in. Get your shot away yourself. If you don't commit a Luton defender. He's trying to find someone else. I think he's been excellent as well. I think more so defensively with the ball. He's getting into right positions, breaking down the Luton attack. But there he had a real good opportunity.
Doak goes on the outside of Bell, crosses in low, and again McGuinness is there, sliding in to turn it behind from Middlesbrough corner.
End product, Ben Doak, isn't it? Every time he gets the ball, he's a threat, and that's what you want. He's making Luton defend. So I think Michael Carrick could be delighted with that, but again, it's just that, the quality, isn't it? The quality of the pass, the quality of the execution.
It's going to be inconsistent, isn't it, though, right? When you're a teenager?
Well, yeah, of course.
It's going to be up and down.
He's only going to get better, isn't it? I think with the minutes in the legs, he's only going to get stronger as well, but what we're seeing so far, he's definitely in the mood.
We've reached the half an hour mark, just about. Corner for Middlesbrough, short from Azaz, and teed back across goal towards Bergsorg! He smashes it in! Delano Bergsorg with his first league goal for Middlesbrough. He leaps over the advertising hoardings to celebrate with the supporters. It was straight off the training ground. It totally caught out Luton Town, and Middlesbrough have the lead. Bergsorg from just inside the penalty area, rifling it in through a crowd of bodies, and it's Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0.
Well, you called it, Joe, right off the training ground. The players are celebrating with the staff as well. It's just taken to the near post. You're thinking it's a pure corner, and it's a little flick, isn't it? Oh, it's a fantastic little flick from Azaz. It's just round the corner with the outside of his right foot, and Bergsorg just comes on to it. He's still got a lot to do, a lot of bodies that he's got to find, but just the connection is strong. Steers it forwards. Does it take a little nick? Puts it over Kaminski as well. I'm just looking on the monitor now. Does it take a little nick? No, it doesn't. It's just a pure connection, isn't it? But on target, Kaminski in the back of the net. It's an excellent goal.
It's dreadful defending from Luton's perspective.
It's hard to defend against. I think that little near post corner, Azaz is onto it. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Just a deft touch with the outside of his right boot that puts it towards the penalty spot, and then players arriving at the right time. Great little connection. Steer it goalwards. It's always going to be difficult for the goalkeeper to get anything on it with the bodies as well.
And that a goal that, as things stand, would take Middlesbrough at least temporarily into the Championship playoffs. Of course, plenty of football still to be played over the course of this afternoon, and we'll have it all for you on the TalkSport network. Overhit pass by Azaz, but it could turn into a good ball for Doak down by the corner flag, and he's kept it in play. Middlesbrough lead by a goal to nil on TalkSport 2. Doak trying to take on Bell. He's got the beating of him, which is rare for Amari Bell when you look at his one-on-one record against wingers on that right side. Here is Dykesteel for Middlesbrough, midway into opposition territory. Luton have had to get everybody back behind the ball now, defending the goal away to our right-hand side, and their defence has been breached by Delano Bergsorg. His first league goal for Middlesbrough, as I say, had scored in the League Cup coming into this afternoon. Good turn by Doak infield from the right. He looks such a tricky, nippy player. He's laid it square to Bergsorg, 25 yards out, thinks about the left-footed shot, shimmies back inside, then back out to the left. He plays the ball into the path of Ailing, right-footed cross, Latte Lath is there, goalkeeper and defender collide, the ball bounces up and Kaminski gathers. McGuinness, Kaminski sandwiching Latte Lath there, and the Middlesbrough number 9 has gone down hurt, and the referees had to stop the game. Chris Wellerman.
So it's a penalty kick. It's a penalty kick no matter how you want to look at it. Just wait until you see this on the monitor. Kaminski comes as you want your goalkeeper to do, gets nowhere near the ball. Watch this, when the ball goes in, he takes Latte Lath out the game completely. It is a penalty kick. He goes to punch it with both. There's no connection with the ball. It's a difficult one because...
Do you remember Andre Onana against Wolves at the start of last season, where he went, as you say, to punch the ball away, got nowhere near his opponent? There were words on the near side touchline. Jonathan Woodgate, the Middlesbrough assistant manager, is speaking to the fourth official, but There wasn't any inkling whatsoever that the referee would give a penalty.
What I will say,
Moisaz has played it through to Latela, who suddenly might be in on goal. He's beyond Mengi, left edge of the penalty area. Mengi gets back. The loose ball is dropped to Hackney. Corner of the 18-yard box. Middlesbrough turning on the style now. They lead by a goal to nil. 33 minutes gone and Luton have struggled to respond since conceding that goal. Bergzorg the scorer, left wing position, he's got Ayling on the overlap, skips infield instead. Lovely run by Bergzorg, eventually he's blocked off by Walsh, who is tripped by Azaz. Luton free kick.
Yeah, they need to get those little passes in again. Players have not reacted well at the minute. That defence need to get out. We'll look at Mark McGuinness now, who actually got the clearance on that one when Kaminsky's come out and take Latela home. Maybe that plays a part. You know, if the ball just is dropping around, but because he got a very, very good, strong defensive header, it should make a difference. If Kaminsky doesn't touch the ball and he takes Latela out, it's a penalty kick. You can't just come out and clean out. If you get a connection with the ball, then I understand it, but you got nowhere near the ball there. Luton just have to keep doing what they were doing. Get those. Liam Walsh has to get on the ball. You know, Baptiste has to get on the ball. Those little passes in. But at the Middlesbrough, they smell the blood, don't they? They're going for the kill.
Well, Rob Edwards has said that Luton have had some very good performances at home of late, but again, as we mentioned, that those results on the road have been a big issue for them. Here is McGuinness. Luton trail by a goal to nil. Forward by McGuinness, high up the left-hand channel, and the offside flag, as I expected it to do, goes up against Adebayo. We were near enough right in line with that, about halfway inside the half to the left, and level with the assistant referee as he puts that lime green flag up into the air. Middlesbrough leading 1-0 on TalkSport 2. I wonder what Michael Carrick has made of the first 34-35 minutes.
Well, I'll be delighted that Middlesbrough are in front. I think being second best. I think having to defend well. They've had little flashes. I think Ben Doak, especially down this right-hand side, is getting a lot of joy, albeit that creative quality and that attacking thought probably can be improved. But 1-0, it'll be job done. Now can they implement their style, their game, get on the ball, really make it difficult for Luton to have any foothold in the game.
Flicked by Latela, but he can't get beyond Mengi. Mengi turning back towards the far side touchline, and he put himself under unnecessary pressure there, the centre half, and Latela, with all of his pressing ability, manages to force the error, and it'll be a throw. Remember how prolific he was in the Championship last season, Emmanuel Latela. 16 goals, 18 in all competitions, and 3 for the season so far, but he has found form of late, certainly off the bench. Middlesbrough a goal to the good. Ayling down by the corner flag. 9.5 minutes of normal time remain in the first half. Little nutmeg by Hackney into the path of Bergzorg. This time he's blocked off by Mengi. The loose ball was retrieved by Matt Clark, who's there to win a throw for Middlesbrough in front of that single-tiered east stand on the far side of the field. The Luton fans are huddled together in the southeast corner near one of the big electronic scoreboards. Hackney back to goal, plays the ball back to Ayling, skips infield, he's 10 yards from the edge of the area, crossfield ball left to right, over the head of Bell. Doak couldn't quite get there this time, but again the Middlesbrough fans behind the goal applaud his intent, and Delano Bergzorg certainly celebrated in style, didn't he, Chrissy? He jumped over the hoardings and into the front row.
Yeah, first league goal, he'd be absolutely delighted. You know, I think what he does, how he presents himself, how he plays, he's been very, very good today. More so that kind of defensive aspect. He's got to drop in, he's got to be disciplined. But you're looking at Ben Doak on the opposite side. You know, I think all the players, they know that they can go out there first time. They don't even look. They know that he's hugging the touchline, he's wanting the ball, he's going to chase everything down. Just the quality just needs to be better out to him. He is making poor balls into good balls because of the athleticism that he has, the pace that he has.
Worth just saying, Delano Bergzorg was booked for his celebration. Morecambe, bottom of the Football League, but they lead at Harrogate by a goal to nil. Well, yes, I would agree with you. I would agree. Nothing wrong with that celebration for me.
It's what we want to see, isn't it? A little bit of passion. That's what the fans love to see as well. But I understand certain celebrations and messages and shots going up and that. I understand that they've got to kind of try and zero tolerance.
Rhys Williams has scored that Morecambe goal away at Harrogate Town, not too far from here up in the northeast. Foul on Bergzorg by Mengi. Bergzorg backpedaling and Mengi hauls him to the ground. There are no appeals from the Luton centre half, and Luton have looked really flat in the 7 or 8 minutes since conceding the opening goal. Middlesbrough have been dominant territorially. They're suddenly seeing much more possession and they've got a free kick 15 yards into opposition territory.
I think you have to make a decision, Joe. You know, you concede that goal probably against the run of play, then you have to kind of be a little bit more solid to make sure that you don't concede again in that probably 5-10 minutes afterwards. You'd like to kind of implement your style, be on the front foot as Luton were. So I think it's just organisation, the likes of Mark McGuinness.
And that's with a high free kick, floated to the back post, poorly hit. It was angled almost towards the corner of the penalty area and thundered up into the cloudy skies by Amari Bell. Now it's chested down by McGuinness for Luton. Holmes back to his goalkeeper Kaminski, who had little chance with the goal. It was through a crowd of bodies and Kaminski would have been unsighted. Long he goes upfield towards Adebayo. A neat chest back into the path of Woodrow. 10 yards into the Middlesbrough half. Now Walsh steering it backwards to Mengi again. Luton haven't created a great deal, have they? Just that one effort from Walsh, who's on the ball now, right of centre, just inside the Middlesbrough half. Latte slid in with a dreadful challenge. The referee points at him, as if to say, I might come back to you for that once this run of play is over. Bell down by the left edge of the penalty area. Clearance by Dykesteal. That'll drift out of play. I don't think there is going to be any further punishment for Latte Lath. Maybe just a talking to from the referee. And Middlesbrough have a free kick in the right back spot. Even at 1-0, 6 minutes of the first half to go, Chris, but they look quite comfortable here, Middlesbrough.
No, they do, but you've got to remember the games that they've been completely in control.
You're right, yeah.
Away. There's definitely been work done on the grass. They have to manage the game a little bit better. They don't have to go gun-ho and try and get that second. It's about being patient in the build-up, playing through the thirds, creating those opportunities. But when they don't have to, the way to think about it, Joe, they do not have to score again to win this game. They just have to defend well, and I think they have to implement that into their identity as well, into their DNA.
Well, so far so good for Middlesbrough. West Ham against Everton is our Premier League commentary at 3. Talk Sport tonight will bring you Liverpool against Aston Villa, the league leaders Liverpool. From 8 o'clock, live and exclusive over on Talk Sport. Holmes under pressure for Luton, and Middlesbrough won it back, but then it's given away by Azaz. Tried to steer it square, when intercepted by Walsh, who's probably been Luton's best player in the first half. Woodrow then turns the ball square neatly and infield to Chong, but he's tackled by Dykesteal. No way through for Luton. Early ball over the top by Azaz, outside of the foot, hit beautifully. Latte Lath just blocked off by McGuinness. Luton have possession again with Holmes, but they do look as though there is a chance of mistakes in that defensive area for Luton.
It was an excellent ball from Azaz with the outside of the right boot as well. What I will say about Latte-Lath, when it comes, he tries to take a touch and keep running as well. I think he has to just let that run past him.
Yep.
He's got the pace, he's got the legs on McGuinness, and he's running onto that, and I'm not too sure that Kaminski was out covering that sweeper role. I think he would have got on the end of it if he allowed that just to pass him there.
Luton get away with it, but they still trail. Throw to Luton right in front of the Middlesbrough boss, Michael Carrick, now over 100 games in charge. He played for Middlesbrough as a 9-year-old, did Michael Carrick, born in this area of the country. As we tick towards the 41st minute, Chris.
Michael Carrick is not happy with the linesman whatsoever. He's definitely let them know about it as well.
Yes, you didn't need to be a great lip reader to work that out. As McGuinness steers the ball out of play. I've got our little monitors in the commentary position so we can get a close-up view of some of the action. Throw to Middlesbrough, midway into the Luton half, and they're in no rush to take it here, and this is what that game management that you mentioned, Chris, is all about. No need to force the issue at this point in the game.
No, exactly. I think they've got very good technical players that are comfortable in possession, that are comfortable under a pressured press as well. So they just have to kind of, like you say, be controlled, use the ball well, make Luton work for every time, every opportunity they get that transition with the ball.
Morris has played the ball back to Doak, 10 yards into the Luton half, and then a crossfield ball right to left onto the chest of Clark. That's a ripple of applause from the Middlesbrough fans. Azaz, dead centre, dinks it over the top towards Latte Lath. He brought it down brilliantly. Lovely turn. What a goal! Magnificent Middlesbrough! And Emmanuel Latte Lath with a piece of magic after a peach of a ball to find him. Azaz just dinked it over the top. Latte Lath back to goal. So called the defender a dummy, turned Cruyff style away from him, opened up his body, turned it into the bottom corner. That is Middlesbrough at their very, very best. You might not see a better goal in the Championship this weekend. Middlesbrough 2, Luton 0. Fabulous move.
I think it's right up there as goal of the season. Goal of the season already. As early as this, it's crazy, isn't it? It's a great bit of quality. The ball is excellent, little dink, the run is perfect. He's getting marshalled very, very well. Great little dink on the top from, I've got to say, Azaz here. He takes it on the chest, but the control to just roll his man, cut inside, and just open up the goal, and then have the composure to slot it in the bottom left-hand corner. It's an outstanding finish from Latte-Lath. Outstanding goal, and the bench erupted as well. What a goal. I'm saying goal of the season. Goal of the season, Joe, for me. Outstanding quality.
Stunning for Middlesbrough, and Emmanuel Latte-Lath, who's finding his form again, keeps this hot streak going, and Middlesbrough lead by 2 goals to 0 in fine fashion. Mengi is a very competent defender, but he made him look silly. And here is Bergzorg for Middlesbrough. Luton have suddenly got caught at the back, and there are red shirts streaming forward. Doak edge of the area, dribbles away from Bell and fires it near post, and the goalkeeper turns it away. Kaminski, 2 strong hands to it, and Luton are in danger of losing this game late in the first half. Still 90 seconds of normal time, plus added time to go. Hackney shoots from range, and that flies over the top. Middlesbrough into the groove, Chris Owellamo.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at Michael Carrick's reaction at Hackney. He's having a proper go at him as well there, in a real moment where they're using a lot, finding a lot of space. He doesn't have to have a shot from 30 yards. It's about him driving into that space, releasing the players around him. Latte-Lath is stretching the pitch of the opportunity. So I can understand a little bit of frustration. It just shows you the demands that Michael Carrick's putting on the players, the quality, the squad that he has, the players that he's got. He knows they're better than what they're seeing.
York 2, Hartlepool 0 in the National League. And what about this? Stoke 0, Millwall 1. Millwall on a wonderful run of form at the moment. As it stands, they're up to 4th in the Championship. Middlesbrough 2, Luton 0. And the crowd here in the North East have been treated to a really brilliant second goal as we head towards first half stoppage time. And Luton have been passive, Chris, for 15 minutes, and they've been punished.
Yeah, they have. But like I say, I think once you concede that goal, when you've done ever so well again, you have to kind of gather yourself again. You just have to make sure you defend well. They've got opened up there. I've got to say, Latte-Lath, excellent little run, found well by Azaz, but what a bit of quality, isn't it, that really punished them. And you know what I was saying about Michael Carrick, he's putting those demands on the players. He's not happy at 2-0. He wants them to go, put them to the sword. Go and get that third goal.
Well, they might well do it, even with just a minute of added time left at the end of the first half. Luton in a bit of disarray at the moment. Middlesbrough fans all around us in this west stand, heading for the concourse areas ahead of half-time. Quite chilly today. Mengi has possession for Luton. Hoists a high ball downfield. He's just pumped that long. Clark is there to thunder the ball out of play on the volley. That should just about do it for Middlesbrough in the first half. The way that Latte-Lath spun away from Mengi impudently and just left Mengi wondering what had happened. He looked bewildered, and a real measure of the quality of the finish from Latte-Lath that was to follow as well. The way he opened up his body and guided it beyond Kaminski. And that, the second goal to round off a fine first half for Middlesbrough. But that second goal itself, as we've been saying, was one of real quality. And yes, the Championship, of course, so often produces unpredictability, but it can produce real moments of brilliance like that. Latte-Lath after the ball from Azaz to make it 2. That after Delano Bergzorg had given Middlesbrough the lead right on the half-hour mark. Luton have not tested the goalkeeper, Seni Dieng, seriously at all, and they are heading for another away defeat. Middlesbrough 2, Luton 0 at half-time. Thank you, Ollie. Middlesbrough get the second half underway from right to left, all in red, and Luton in white beneath these sunny skies now from left to right. Luton have made a half-time change. Victor Moses, the former Premier League winner with Chelsea, who joined Luton in mid-September, is onto the field in place of Amari Bell, and Hashioka has switched to left wing back. That a reflection, I think, of the dominance that Middlesbrough were having in the wing positions in the first half. It's Middlesbrough who lead by 2 goals to 0. Delano Bergzorg, and a beautiful goal from Emmanuel Latte-Lath to make it 2. And Middlesbrough look comfortable at this stage as they continue to knock on the door of the Championship playoff places. Moses with a floated ball down the Luton right. Corley Woodrow tried to hold it up in front of the two defenders, Clark and Ayling. Clark pokes it back to Hayden Hackney, who'll shepherd it back to the feet of the goalkeeper, and Dieng, under a bit of pressure, is able to clear. So Middlesbrough, Dieng in goal, Dyke, Steele, Edmondson, Clark and Ayling, Hackney and Morris, Doak, Azaz and Bergzorg behind Latte Lath, and for Luton, Kaminsky in goal, Mengi, McGuinness and Holmes. Now Moses and Hashioka as the wing-backs, Baptiste and Walsh in the middle, and Chong in support of Adebayo and Woodrow up front. I'll give you the benches as well as Luton go back to goalkeeper Kaminsky. Middlesbrough have Bryn, Barlassa, Fry, McGree, Jones, Howson, Hamilton, Conway and young George McCormick on their bench, and for Luton, Krul, Anderson, Kraus, Morris, Nakamba, and Panzu, Clark and Brown. So, while it is 2-0 to Middlesbrough, Chris Awelamo, both head coaches have still got plenty of options. What do you make of the change to bring on Victor Moses?
Yeah, well, it just shows you how dominant I think Ben Doak, the problems that he's been causing down that right-hand side. We have Mary Bell as well. He was second best, wasn't he? So Hashioka has to go over and deal with that issue. You know, at the minute he's looking very, very high defensive line again.
Zaz early ball down the middle towards Latte Lath, who's flagged offside. Just mistimed his run by a tiny margin in front of Mark McGuinness.
I think this is a gamble that Luton have to make. You know, I think that defensive line has to be high. It allows the midfield line and the attacking unit to go and press with aggression, and that's where they're getting a lot of joy. You know, yeah, okay, the threat is that Latte Lath, he times the run well. They do have good players that can execute the pass and play that ball in behind and over the top, but for Luton to have any intensity in this game and try and create chances, they have to be picking the ball up in that middle third, attacking third, and then it's that transition, they have to be better.
Luton languishing at the moment, 9 points off the playoff places. Of course, plenty of time to go in the season. We are only in November, but it is a worrying start to the season for them as it stands. Here come Middlesbrough. Morris finding Doku, charges over the halfway line, and then there was a foul on Holmes, and Luton get a free kick midway inside their own half the field. They don't have a great record here at the Riverside of late. Lost their last 3 league trips, and the 1,000 or so have made the very long journey from Bedfordshire up to the northeast, and an early start, no doubt, will be very disappointed with what they've seen so far. As Luton have possession with Mengi, high long ball downfield. Adebayo with the gloves on controls and steers the ball away from Ayling into the path of Woodrow. Near side the right hand channel, Moses is on the overlap. Woodrow slows the play down, and then Moses was in an offside position. How on earth did Luton conjure up an offside with a 5-yard pass right in front of the assistant referee? 2-0 Middlesbrough.
Well, I don't understand why Woodrow is giving the ball to Moses there. You know, you've got Adebayo in the box, put the ball right in the money, there's no pressure. He's out in this right hand channel. Like you say, Moses isn't in a better position than him to put that delivery in the box. Don't let the big man down. Adebayo's in there waiting for it.
Might be a yellow card for Hashioka, who's hauled down Doak away on the halfway line, and Hashioka is booked by the referee. He's now got to face the very exciting loanee from Liverpool, Ben Doak, who spun away from Hashioka, then had his shirt tugged by the Japanese wing-back, and an obvious free kick to Middlesbrough, who looks so comfortable now with this 2-0 lead early in the second half. We've got West Ham against Everton live today at 3 o'clock, as you've been hearing on TalkSport 2. Liverpool against Aston Villa at 8 on TalkSport, and here on 2 this evening we'll bring you live cricket, England against the West Indies in the first T20. Just download our app. It's free, easy to download, and you can keep across everything that's happening on both stations. Doak, right wing position, taking on Hashioka. Couple of step overs, gets the dead ball line, digs in the cross. Latte Lath was there, headed away by Ted and Mengi. Right in front of goal. Now Hackney over his shoulder. Tried to hook it into the path of Finazaz. It's cleared away by Holmes, facing his own goal for Luton Town. High up towards Adebayo, who can't win the ball up in the air. And Middlesbrough have possession back, playing from right to left towards the north stand. It's overhit by Ayling, out to play it goes, but no question that Middlesbrough so far are the better side. Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, completely in control, aren't they? Using the ball very, very well. I've got to say that yellow card to Hashioka makes this half very difficult. You know, he's up against Ben Doak, he's in the mood, he's getting at him every opportunity. That'll be a concern with Rob Edwards, and we wanting to keep everyone on the pitch. Just a silly challenge. could be a second yellow, so that will be a massive concern for Rob Edwards.
How much pressure is Rob Edwards under, Chris? Is it realistic to think of him as a manager under pressure?
Well, it shouldn't be, but it is. This is, I think, like I already alluded to with Mark Robbins.
Well, if Mark Robbins can be sacked, then
anyone
anybody
can. Exactly the point. I think all managers know that.
Middlesbrough won it back on halfway. Hackney, lovely threaded ball, and Doak takes it in his stride, races into the area, cuts it back to Azaz. Oh, it's another brilliant Middlesbrough goal. Azaz applies the finishing touch, sweeping finish into the top corner. Middlesbrough are running riot. Luton are being ripped apart. Doak at the heart of it again, and this time Azaz there to finish off another glorious move. Middlesbrough 3, Luton 0, and Middlesbrough are turning on the style today.
Excellent goal, isn't it? Real quality. Ben Doak again. Way to pass. The timing of the run was outstanding. He's driving. He's got in behind Hashioka. They're trying to keep a high defensive line, and that's the risk. But I've got to say everything about it. Driving into the box, committing his defender, and then just cutting it back. The way to pass to Azaz as well, and the finish right into the top left-hand corner. Outstanding goal, is it, from start to finish? Like, deserved as well. Really on top, using the ball really, really well.
Luton carved apart so easily, and Azaz was all alone inside the 18-yard box, and he just stroked it, whipped into the top corner beyond the utterly helpless Kaminsky, and it's 3-0 to Middlesbrough now. And surely that's that. Surely there's no way back for Luton from here. Moses looks long towards Woodrow, the header away by George Edmondson for Middlesbrough, who look like they've found some home form again after 2 defeats in 3 home league matches coming into today, and 2 of those home defeats coming without scoring against Bristol City and Coventry. But they've hit form, Michael Carrick's team. And actually, Chris, you have to say, suddenly from nowhere, Middlesbrough are free scoring.
Yeah, they are. I think there's a couple of changes being made for Luton at the minute, and you're thinking as a substitute coming on now, you've got to come on and be in the right mindset. 3-0 down, can you influence the game in a positive way? I think that's the objective, get that next goal and see where it leaves you. But it's a very difficult game to come into. 100 miles an hour. Middlesbrough are completely in control with and without the ball. I have to say, they're just so organised, but they're such a threat when they're in complete control of the ball.
53 minutes in, 3-0 to Middlesbrough, and I'm sure Rob Edwards is wishing he'd made the other changes earlier. Woodrow shoots left-footed, and a good save by Dieng. The pullback by Chong. Woodrow went running onto it, left-footed low effort, and Dieng makes a sprawling save and holds onto the ball. That is Luton's first serious effort on target. Huge opportunity. Great ball in from Chong. Got to say, it's an excellent save from Dieng, but he shouldn't be allowed to make it. Woodrow watching the ball, great connection. He got good power on it as well, I have to say. It was probably too close to the keeper. Good save as well. He's got his hands down there, but it has to be in the back. Early ball as well down the middle. Latrelap is chasing. He's outpaced the defender. He's round the goalkeeper, and Bergdahl will tap it in for 4. Luton have utterly fallen apart. It's game over now. Make no mistake about it. And Middlesbrough are on their way to a thumping victory at the Riverside. We haven't yet had 55 minutes. It's Middlesbrough 4, Luton 0, and the pressure piles on Rob Edwards. Yeah, it's another brilliant goal, isn't it? Last stretching the pitch ever so well. Just that ball in behind, he's causing so much problems. McGuinness tries to make the challenge, but this is what you talk about, team play, isn't it? New Bergzorg was up beside him there. Allen put the shot on himself. The way to pass into the path of Bergzorg, all he had to do was tap it into an empty net, taking Kaminsky out of it. It's a real team goal, but Michael Carrick will be absolutely delighted in control of this game. Well, the Luton changes, 2 further changes. They're too little, too late. Off go Woodrow and Baptiste, both of whom have been utterly anonymous. And on come Carlton Morris and Tom Krause. Is Rob Edwards in part here, Chris, being punished for just making too many changes? 5 changes to a winning team in midweek. Yeah, well, 4-0 down. Yeah, exactly that. And I think if they go out and they're competitive in the next game and they really put in a good performance, and okay, they lose the game by the odd goal, but
4-0 scoreline. It puts even more pressure on Rob Edwards and his team. And in saying that, there's still another 35 minutes to go. You know, it's scary, isn't it?
Well, it's a question here now on your home of VFL TalkSport 2 of just how many Middlesbrough can score. Burton 2, Shrewsbury 0 in League 1. Burton heading for a first league win of the season. And Hartlepool have a goal back away at the National League leaders York. York 2, Hartlepool 1. But Middlesbrough with 2 goals in 2 minutes. Bergzorg with his second of the game, and Latte Lath did all the work to go round the goalkeeper and then just knock it into his path. Luton have folded in this second half early on. The ball upfield by Holmes is swept away by Clark for Middlesbrough. And now Morris takes up possession, edge of his own penalty area. Crossfield ball to the right-hand side and Doak, and Middlesbrough look like they can score at every opportunity. Hackney over the halfway line. Off by Tom Krause, who's just come onto the field, the German midfielder. There's a 50-50 on the far side as rather gloomy, murky-looking clouds gather overhead. And we talked about the pressure on Rob Edwards at 2-0, Chris, but this is the sort of performance that will have some Luton fans, I think I've already seen 1 or 2 head for the exits, but there'll be even more pressure on him now.
Yeah, rightfully so. You know, it'll be a sore one to take in a game that they had a real good foothold in the game as well. The first goal came against the run of play, but they have completely just collapsed, haven't they, under the pressure, getting no joy whatsoever. In saying that, the chance that fell to Will Joe has to be in the back of the net, you know, but like you said, they've been nowhere near the second half.
And they look capable of being carved open at every opportunity here, Luton. Middlesbrough have the ball with Dyke-Steele, right full-back position, charging up over halfway. Ashioka slides in to block him off, and Middlesbrough concede the throw. 4-0 up now. And Middlesbrough cruising to another victory. That's 8 goals they've scored in a week. Or less than that, a few days. Tuesday night, 4 at QPR, and 4 here today at home to Luton. Blackburn get a second away at Cardiff in the Championship as Blackburn look to rediscover some form. Andy Byman has got his second of the game. Cardiff 0, Blackburn 2, Stoke 0, Millwall 1 elsewhere in the Championship. At Burton 2, Shrewsbury 0, Wrexham 1, Mansfield 0 in League 1 as Moses is flagged offside for Luton. Harrogate 0, Morecambe 1, Salford 0, Carlisle 0 in League 2, and in the National League, Aldershot 0, Willstone 1, and York 2, Hartlepool 1. You are up to date here on TalkSport 2, Chris. Well, there'll be 2 more changes for Luton in a moment. I don't get it. Why not make more than 1 change at half-time? They were in disarray, weren't they?
Yeah, I understand that. You know, I think you think about the choices you've made and how competitive they were before conceding that first goal, but you need a real influence, and I think a couple of changes should have been made at half-time. You know, I think Carlton Morris will be thinking, you know, what's going on? You know, at the minute you're thinking it's like there's been too many changes midweek after what was a good result. But you're looking at 4-0. You have to come on, you have to kind of make an influence. Fans are walking out. Middlesbrough are really in their flow, in their groove, really controlling this game. It's a difficult game to come on and try and change it, but you have to do it. That's how professional you have to be.
Off go Walsh and Adebayo, and on come Marvellous Nakamba and Jordan Clark. It's 4-0 to Luton here, to Middlesbrough. 4-0 to Middlesbrough against Luton on TalkSport 2. Luton win a corner with Chong on the far side of the field, nearly an hour gone. And, well, if Luton were to score here, it would surely be the merest consolation, even with, as I say, half an hour of the game to play, plus added time. The centre-halves are forward. Chong is standing over the corner, right in front of the Luton fans. Nearly 1,000 have made the trip, huddled together in the southeast corner of the Riverside Stadium. In by Chong towards Clark, little flick at the near post, and it'll be cleared away by Latte Lath. Middlesbrough maybe can counter here. Doak has held it up neatly, scampers away from 2 in right, has to go backwards towards Morris. Let's get team news ahead of our 3 o'clock kickoff in the Premier League on TalkSport 2. West Ham against Everton. Here's Ian Dancer.
2 changes for both sides. For West Ham, Antonio is recalled to the starting lineup. Thomas Souček is in for the suspended Alvarez. The other player missing out is Mavropanos. The two changes for Everton, recalls for Doucouré and, importantly, Jared Branthwaite at centre-half. Keane and McNeil are the players out. McNeil not even on the Everton bench. West Ham Everton live at 3 o'clock here on TalkSport 2.
Looking forward to it as Doak crosses from the right wing position. It's cleared away by Hashioka of Luton. Middlesbrough lead 4-0 and they're on the front foot again. This is your home of the EFL TalkSport 2. We have the Steel City derby for you. Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow lunchtime. Live on TalkSport 2 at 12:30 kickoff. And the live cricket will continue tomorrow as well. We kick that off tonight with the first T20 between the West Indies and England. Live on TalkSport 2 from 7:30. Now then, Zaz for Middlesbrough. Back to goalkeeper Dieng. I wonder at what stage the Olay's ringing around the ground with just over an hour gone. Chris Owellamo, does Michael Carrick think about giving some of his key players a rest, avoiding injuries? Are we at that stage in the game?
Well, you say key players, I think when you look at the options that he's got, Riley McGree coming on, Conway coming on, Ballot, it's strength, isn't it? It's quality. It doesn't weaken the side in any way. So I think you will have a little look and give them a little run out, hopefully hoping that they can go and add to this scoreline.
Well, there's a yellow card now for Jordan Clark. Poor challenge on Hayden Hackney at the end of that Middlesbrough passing move with the Olays, and sometimes you need a player to put in a heavy challenge like that to try and get the team going again. Luton, the game is surely beyond them. It was a dreadful challenge actually for Clark.
It was a terrible challenge, but I think you need a challenge like that, probably at 1-0, where you think, okay, it can get a little rise. At 4-0, it's a little bit of a kind of cheap option, isn't it? But yeah, at the minute they're nowhere near the levels that I've seen myself over the last month or so from Luton. But it just shows you how good Middlesbrough have been in control. Had to weather the storm, grew into the match, were always a threat, but when they got that goal, wow, this team has just been so expansive. Really enjoyed the football that I've seen from them playing today.
A chance of sacked in the morning towards the Luton head coach Rob Edwards, whose team had crumbled here early in the second half. Middlesbrough 4, Luton 0, 63 minutes played. Bergzorg has gone down for Middlesbrough. He's on a hat-trick, having not scored a league goal for the club prior to today. And the referee has stopped the game. Bergzorg can receive some treatment here. And Middlesbrough, as it stands, are back up into the Championship playoff positions. That's because Stoke have got an equaliser at home to Millwall. Ben Gibson for Stoke, 1-1 the score. And Stoke City have won 2 from 2 coming into the weekend. So the two sides in form meeting at the Bet365. Stoke 1, Millwall 1. I mean, it's early days in the season, as we know, Chris, as Bergzorg gets to his feet. Well, I say relatively early days. I mean, there will be 15 games in by the end of the afternoon, so the table does start to take shape, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think even if you have a slow start or a little bit inconsistent start the way Middlesbrough have, there's so much confidence that you take from this performance, and especially here at the Riverside. Before a ball's kicked today, 11 points from 21. That it needs to be better if you want to be up there in the higher regions of this league.
That's it. That back to goal, tried a reverse ball into the path of Azaz. It was well intercepted by Holmes on the edge of the Luton penalty area. Hurried clearance high downfield by Hashioka. Carlton Morris unable to get on the end of it. And a high ball back to the goalkeeper Dieng by Dijksteel. Dieng took that very calmly. Edge of his penalty area, brought it down on his left foot. Just neatly plucked it out of the air. Luton with Moses going back to defender McGuinness. West Ham against Everton. Live in the Premier League next for you on TalkSport 2. So don't go anywhere once we're done here. Still got 25 minutes to go, plus any added time. Almost at the point of the game where Luton are just going to be happy to escape without any further damage. Very dark clouds overhead here. It feels like it's about to pour down with rain at any moment. Morris with the floated ball over the top to the left wing position. Latte Lap is there, and Azaz in the penalty area waiting for a cross. Back it goes to Bergzorg, the number 10. Now Morris midway inside Luton territory. Luton can pop the ball about easily here, and as a player, Chris, when you're 4-0 in front, it must be the best thing in the world. When you're 4-0 down, as Morris fouls Aidan Morris, and Carlton Morris is shoved by his namesake, and the referee produces a yellow card for Luton's number 9, Carlton Morris.
Well, look at him, Joe. He's having a proper
Breathing
go.
at his teammates, isn't he?
Yeah, because no wonder. You know, they're showing no, they're standing off it, the olays are going in. He's had to run from 20 yards from the attacking line to put some pressure on Eddie Morris. What's going on? No wonder he's having a go. For one, he'll be frustrated that he was on the bench in the first place, but then all of a sudden now he's taking a silly yellow card. You know, but I don't mind him having a proper go, but I've not seen enough of that with this Luton side. Saying, look, we're nowhere near it.
They showed the aggression since Clark and Morris came on, didn't they? But it's been too late.
Well, you said it a few minutes ago in your commentary about damage limitations. I think that's already where this Luton side are. They're not thinking about can they go on and get a goal. It's about let's not concede another.
And as a number 9, if you're in Carlton Morris's position, that's a tough place to be, right?
No, spot on. You know, I think that'll be a very difficult conversation probably before leaving Morris out. But it's an even harder one when he comes in after the game. It's one of them he has to pick his moment to go into, Rob Edwards.
Middlesbrough 4, Luton 0. A sorry afternoon for Luton Town. Live on your home of the EFL TalkSport 2. And there was a little talk about mini revival, certainly at home anyway, but all of that has come screeching to a halt with the performance they've put in today. They'll be at home to Hull and then away at Leeds and Norwich after the international break. Tough away fixtures to come for Luton. It may not get any easier for them on the road. And the allays continue from the Middlesbrough fans. Aidan Morris gets just in front of Carlton Morris this time, because Middlesbrough nearly gave it away, and the ironic cheers from the home fans, and then Clark has thundered the ball straight out of play, and there's a slight sloppiness about Middlesbrough in the last couple of minutes that maybe you can understand. The game is surely won, even with 23 minutes to go.
But you said that that sloppiness, I think Michael Carrick can make the changes. He can go bum, 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 bring on 3 quality, take 3 quality off, and it doesn't weaken the side any. But what it does, it just goes, these players that are coming on, they're seeing a lot of the ball.
Yep.
Go and get your goal. Go and influence the game in a positive way, and I think that's where the management of this game from a Michael Carrick point of view can be a little bit better, albeit they're sitting 4 and they're a lot comfortable here at the Riverside.
Already underway over on TalkSport with Game Day Live this afternoon. Adrian Durham and our top team of pundits taking you around the grounds, around the country for all the goals as they go in. And at 8 o'clock there's commentary on TalkSport of Liverpool against Aston Villa. A huge game in the Premier League. Ball has been won back by Krause, deep inside Middlesbrough territory for Luton. Moses has had no impact on the game. Back to Marvellous and the Camber. Middlesbrough readying a double change shortly. I can see Micah Hamilton down below us, and so too Tommy Conway. It's a steep drop from our commentary position to the touchline below. We are halfway inside the half to the left, almost behind the Luton dugout, and Rob Edwards is pacing up and down inside his technical area here. Dan Barlasser's going to come onto the field for Middlesbrough shortly, so there'll be no reprieve for Luton, Chris, that's for sure.
Well, that's it. You know, you're looking at the strength and quality that Middlesbrough have. These players have what come on and, like you say, bring their A game, try and get on top. At the way, I think you're spot on. I think Middlesbrough have went a little bit sloppy. It's more about just keeping the ball, passing the ball backwards, allowing Luton to kind of get up the pitch. You've got to keep that pressure on, that intensity. That's what Michael Carrick will want and demand from these players.
Cardiff 0, Blackburn 2 and Stoke 1, Millwall 1. The latest scores elsewhere in the Championship. Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday tomorrow lunchtime on TalkSport 2. I bet Tommy Conway is itching to get onto the field, and Dan Barlasser, who has had to make do with a place on the bench a lot of late, likewise. He scored off the bench at QPR in midweek as Bergzorg is fouled on the halfway line. Middlesbrough, who narrowly missed out on a place in the playoffs last season, they want to go on better this year in the Championship. Triple change on the way. Azaz, lovely reverse ball up the right hand channel, good interception by Hashioka, sends it back to goalkeeper Kaminski. Beleaguered goalkeeper Kaminski has not had a great deal of protection from the defenders in front of him today. Forward by Edmondson from Middlesbrough upfield, sliced high, Azaz lays it back to Aidan Morris. Aidan Morris travelling 25 yards out, right-footed effort, and it's high over the top and sails into the fans behind the North Stand goal. Here come the changes. That was Aidan Morris's last touch of the ball, and he gets the standing ovation, as will Bergzorg. No hat-trick for him, but 2 league goals in a Middlesbrough shirt today, and Emmanuel Lattelam, who scored the goal of the game so far, Chris.
Well, I think 3 players have been outstanding today. Really in control, got their A game. and they've been outstanding. And again, you're looking at these players coming on, wanting to make a positive influence. They're a great little bit of quality. I think Aidan Morris must have had a little heads up that he was going to be taken off to take that shot on from there. I think it was the wrong option. He should have been giving it to Ben Doak and really going to try and score that 5th goal. I think Michael Carrick will be delighted from a team performance. Defended well without the ball, made it real difficult for Luton, but then grew into the game and then completely being in control. And I mean clinical is the word in that attacking third. Every chance that they've created, they've nearly put in the back of the net. So can you go on and get that 5th goal?
Well, there's some really exciting selection dynamics for Michael Carrick now. No mistake about it. And the international break to maybe even get 1 or 2 more players back from injury. This Middlesbrough squad is really hitting form and coming together at a great time in the season as the games arrive rapidly before the Christmas holidays and all the football all of the time at that portion of the year. Middlesbrough 4, Luton 0, 19 minutes to go. Middlesbrough have a free kick in their left back position and Ayling standing over the ball. Quick word between Michael Carrick and Jonathan Woodgate, the assistant manager. Clark will play the ball square to Ayling and all the way back to goalkeeper Dieng. And a clean sheet will be a priority, I'm sure, for Middlesbrough again now as they look for back-to-back league victories today. Here is Edmondson, a promotion winner with Ipswich Town to the Premier League last season. Edmondson forward to the right back position now, and Dykesteele back to the feet of Edmondson again. Burton 2, Shrewsbury 0, the latest score in League 1 in the battle of the 2 bottom sides in that division. Burton heading for their first league win of the campaign. Wrexham lead Mansfield 1-0 in that top of the table clash in the same division. Bottom of the Football League, Morecambe lead 1-0 at Harrogate. Salford 0, Carlisle 0. And in the National League, Aldershot 0, Wealdstone 1, York 3, Hartlepool 1, York the leaders. West Ham against Everton on the way at 3, just over an hour until our second live commentary of the day for you on TalkSport 2. That is followed by the cricket from 7:30, England against the West Indies. Here is Edmondson now, midway inside his own half the field. You get the sense that triple change has been made at the right time, Chris, hasn't it? Because just at the point as Middlesbrough were starting to get a little careless at times with their passes, you bring on 3 players who are hungry to make an impact.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, and I think that's the quality that he has, his possession there, and he's brought them on, and like you say, they're trying to get on the ball. Conway's trying to stretch the pitch, be a threat, move around. No, but it's just that at the minute they're being very, very patient. That defensive unit keeping the ball, just bouncing it into like Balaza. It's just going back. At the minute, I think they're just completely in control. They're 4-0. Luton are getting nowhere near them. Carlton Morris is very much isolated up there on his own. This defensive line is a little bit fearful to step forward because they've got so many. They don't leave any space in behind because Middlesbrough have that quality just to find that perfect pass and get them turned.
Here is the bearded Clark, big centre half for Middlesbrough, walking pace, and Carlton Morris eventually makes the move to him, and that opens up a pocket of space, green grass for Clark to find Edmondson.
From a striker's point of view, though, you're going mad at your centre-backs here. You're looking at Clark and Edmondson just passing it between them, like you say, walking pace. Tommy Conway wants the ball. He wants to get his touches on the ball. He wants to get the same intensity that got them 4-0 up.
Will it be hard to drop Latte Lath after his performance today? Well, those are the decisions that a manager like Michael Carrick has to make. 16 minutes to go, plus added time. Can Middlesbrough add to their 4-goal lead against Luton? Luton, who, as it stands, will keep their lowly place in the Championship. They will drop to 20th with a -9 goal difference, 15 points from 15. And here comes a return to action for Middlesbrough for Dale Fry. Not played at all this season due to injury, but is back onto the field of play. Missed the last 3 months of last season as well. And a big cheer for Middlesbrough's number 6 as George Edmondson is the man who comes off. And again, with Dale Fry fit, that's another experienced body in this talented Middlesbrough squad, Chris.
It's really impressive, isn't it, the quality and depth, and I just feel if they can get this home form to the way it should be, they're in that the conversation for automatic. You know, I think that's how strong this squad is. They've got a clear identity. I mean, fantastic on the eye, but even the games that they've let slip away from them, they've let these chances. They've not been clinical enough today. They have ticked that box, haven't they, Joe?
They certainly have. Ahead of a busy afternoon of Championship football to come. And we'll keep you up to date on our home of VFL TalkSport 2 into our commentary of West Ham against Everton. The 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Championship. Derby Plymouth, Leeds QPR, Norwich Bristol City, Portsmouth Preston, and Sunderland take on Coventry City. A fascinating start to the season at all ends of the table. And of course, mentioned Sunderland there, the league leaders. Sheffield United against Sheffield Wednesday, or Coventry tomorrow lunchtime. Here is Fry, number 6 for Middlesbrough. First touches of the ball after so many months out. Dijksteel from the right back position is caught by Chong. And Carlton Morris came across as well. Dijksteel goes down and stays down. Well, Luton, with 14 minutes left, have stopped the concession of goals, but those 2 goals in 2 minutes so early on in the second half have done the damage here. They have won it back with Kraus. Edge of the penalty area, steers it square, space for Clark to control and shoot right-footed, and he finds the corner for a consolation. Seni Dieng, the Middlesbrough goalkeeper, desperately unhappy with the defenders in front of him, but Jordan Clark has helped find some manner of respectability in the scoreline for Luton Town. Good finish, Middlesbrough 4, Luton 1.
Yeah, well, if you're complacent, you're overplaying in your defensive third, that's what can happen. Kraus was onto it. I've got to say, great little bit of quality as well. I thought he was going to take the shot on himself, but he found Jordan Clark with a little bit of quality. He took his time with it, took his touch, but he knew that if he struck it well, that he's asking Seni Dieng a question there. But you can understand the goalkeeper going mad at the players in front of him, because it came from nowhere when they're completely in control of this game. And again, you're looking at they're just Fry and Clark just keeping the ball, allowing Luton to come on to them. This is when you want to be playing in the middle third, asking that question in behind with quality, turning them. You know, Tommy, look at Conway. His movement, he's asking the question, can you play it in behind? He's not seen, has he had a touch of the ball since he's come on?
He hasn't, and the vigour and energy from Middlesbrough has certainly dropped. And now it's 4-1. Luton with a goal back as Dieng clears high and long up into cloudy skies. The flicked header by Ayling towards Micah Hamilton on halfway. He's dispossessed by Mengi, uses his physicality to shrug aside Hamilton and floats a high ball over the top. Morris is chasing, and the back header by Fry into the gloves of his goalkeeper. Cardiff with a goal back against Blackburn in South Wales. Cardiff 1, Blackburn 2. David Turnbull with 17 minutes to go there. And Cardiff, who had been unbeaten in 6 before losing at Luton, ironically, on Wednesday evening. So Middlesbrough will not be able to complete the clean sheet. Not quite the perfect night the perfect lunchtime for Michael Carrick, but a lot of positives, generally speaking, nonetheless. I guess naturally you are going to drop off once you're 4-0 up and you're cruising at such a level, but he will demand higher standards than the goal they conceded.
Not when you're 3-0 up against Norwich and allow them back into the game.
That's true.
So there's little things, little messages that when he's had time in the glass, the players cannot be complacent. You know, and I think when you bring on, we said it, you bring on these substitutions, you know the players' strengths. That's an impetus for you to go again. Can we go again? Can we get on the front foot? Can we have that intensity, the movement, the aggression?
Well, the aggression's gone out of the game, and that's gone out of the crowd as well. The noise levels have dropped, and it feels like it's petering out. And if anything, actually, Luton finally in the game feel comfortable.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it was damage limitations, but from a Middlesbrough point of view, it's like, go on and get your 5th, go on and get a 6th goal. You know, give the fans, they're delighted with what they see, but make sure it's a clean sheet, make sure that box ticks. You know, it's all these little things that, and I guess it's a way for Michael Carrick to bring this team right back to ground when they come in, feet back to the ground, say, look, this was brilliant, but look at this, look at this, look at this.
11 minutes to go plus added time. Middlesbrough 4, Luton 1. Chris Awolowo, former Scotland striker, with me on TalkSport 2. Played many a game in the Championship, did Big Chris. Header away by Ayling from the left back position. Good juggling of Hackney over the head of Kraus, and then he thunders the ball down the middle. And I think that's hit the referee as it deflected into the path of Conway, and the ball is going to be thrown back to whence it came. To the feet of Hayden Hackney, I think. I'm sure that came off the referee, which is why he's stopped it.
Yeah, he's brought it back. Tommy Conway's absolutely devastated. He got his first touch, the referee's just brought it back, even though they do keep possession of the ball, Middlesbrough.
Nothing you could do there, the referee. Huge game to come next for you on TalkSport 2. Remember, West Ham with Julian Lopetegui already under pressure, it feels like. They're taking on Everton in our 3 o'clock commentary on TalkSport 2. Ian Danter and Perry Groves will keep you up to date with all of the goals as they go in for around the grounds around the country as well. The live cricket from 7:30. And on TalkSport at 8 o'clock tonight, it's Liverpool against Aston Villa. Ben Doak leaving the field now. Another terrific display from a young man who's having a great loan spell here in the northeast. He'll be replaced by Isaiah Jones, Chris.
He's been outstanding today, hasn't he? You know, I think the fans are really behind him, works hard without the ball, aggressive in his challenge as well, but how creative he is on his day is unplayable. It's all about he'll bring goals, he'll create for others, and now he'll be enjoying his football. It's just about making sure that he stays fit. Michael Carrick will be absolutely delighted with his performance.
Well, his quality for 2 of the goals today has been immense, particularly the way that he took that high ball in his stride, raced down the far side to right, cut it back for Azaz to make it 3-0, which really was the goal that I think, in all truth, wrapped up the match for Middlesbrough. They went on to add another, and they lead 4-1. Clark in the left-back position, little glancing touch to Ayling, back to Matt Clark, who thought about rolling it back to goalkeeper Dieng. He's under pressure for Moses, and nobody was coming square to offer up another pass there for Middlesbrough. And Victor Moses has ended up conceding possession, but he's won the throw. Takes quickly to Morris, who went for goal from an impossible angle, and that's gathered by Dieng at the near post. But again, I think Michael Carrick will look at that sloppy passage of play, even with 8 minutes to go and leading 4-1, and think, yep, there is that refinement in our defending that needs to be better.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be better if they want to be right up there challenging for automatic, and I guess that's the remit. You know, I think there'll be a belief in this group of players that they can do exactly that. It has to be perfect all round. Yeah, they're going to have their off days, but when they're completely in control of the game, and yeah, they concede silly goals, a little bit of sloppiness comes in, that can't happen. There's got to be leaders on the pitch that don't allow that to happen.
Still Cardiff 1, Blackburn 2, Stoke 1, Millwall 1 elsewhere in the Championship. We picked the game for goals today, Chris, didn't we? And some super football on show for Middlesbrough, but even that Jordan Clark consolation doesn't really feel much to those Luton fans. The long journey back home to come, and they are far too easy to play against away from home, I think. 7 minutes left. Ayling. Infield to Barlaser. Dan Barlaser, formerly of Rotherham. Got that first Middlesbrough goal off the bench on Tuesday night. 4-1 they beat QPR. And you think that there are lots of Middlesbrough players still with a point to prove as Dieng goes long up towards Tommy Conway, trying to head the ball back into the centre circle, smuggled away by Nakamba for Luton. Now Ayling, left edge of the centre circle, to the right back position, and Dijksteel. Dijksteel turns and finds Dale Fry. Now Clark in space square. Clark hammers the ball high downfield. It's way over hit. His distribution hasn't been great, and it bounces through to goalkeeper Kaminski. Very strange feel to the atmosphere now, Chris. The crowd are so silent almost, really. You can almost hear the shouts of the players on the field of play. It's a bit like a training game at this stage.
But don't you think that's the responsibility of the players playing?
Absolutely.
If they're at it, they're on the front foot, boom, boom, opportunity after opportunity.
Well, there's no jeopardy in it, is there?
But that shouldn't make a difference. If it's chance after chance, this place will still be bouncing.
4-1 Middlesbrough. The Cambers nudge the ball wide right to Morris, who's got Moses on the overlap. Morris cuts inside, plays the ball back into a central area in Mengi. Middlesbrough get everybody in red. Back behind the ball. A trip to Oxford after the international break. That can be a tricky trip in the Championship, as several teams have found out already this season in the second tier. And on the far side is Hashioka, infield to Chong, good feet by Chong, back out wide to Hashioka again, he looks up, drills in the right-footed cross, a diving header by Fry, almost ended up heading the turf, he dived so low to nudge it clear. Middlesbrough now have it with Clark, but they're in no rush to get the ball forward, and actually suddenly the crowd are getting frustrated, Chris.
Yeah, they are. And rightfully so. Clark again, I don't understand why he doesn't play the ball quicker forward when it's on to play. As soon as you take your touch and you want to try and think, okay, I'll slow it down, the fans are telling you, we want to see this, energy in the play. At the minute, Clark, he's inviting Luton out. He's allowing them opportunities to step out, that defensive line to step up and invite pressure on. I don't understand why he's doing it. He's got personnel that want the ball, and he's got 3-4 options every time he gets the ball. Just play one of them.
That still has possession, right? full-back position, far side, the east side of the Riverside Stadium, and some in the crowd now starting to head for the exits, head out into the chilly afternoon. The North Yorkshire Hills visible in the distance over the top of the stand as Dieng clears right-footed. Clever ball out to the right-back position, and Dyke-Steele again. Middlesbrough go back to try. Territorially, Middlesbrough have had most of the possession over the last 5-10 minutes, but it's all in their own defensive third. Long ball by Dieng this time, up towards Conway, well dealt with by McGuinness for Luton. And Clark will play it back to the feet of Hashioka. Luton 4-1 down. And it'll be one win in 17 away league matches, and they've miscued, they've lost out on the edge of their own penalty area. Dan Barlaser left-footed will shoot, and it's charged down by Nakamba, who made the initial error. A little bit selfish from Barlaser. He had Conway square and with a virtually empty net.
Yeah, it's a wrong decision for Barlaser. He just couldn't get away from his man. Look, he's not even looking at Conway. They're not making any eye contact whatsoever. I'm sure there'll be a few comments. You would.
Yeah,
Conway went and won the ball. He's put the pressure on. He's left it to Barlaser. It's got to be a little reverse pass. Look at Latte laugh.
And you know, as a former striker yourself, you want the goal in that position if you're Tommy Conway.
Of course you do, but understandably, Barlaser wants to influence the game and get his goal, so that it's an easy conversation to have.
Azaz, corner of the penalty area, calls it! Oh, spectacular! What a way to potentially round off the scoring. Finn Azaz with a curling shot right-footed to pick out the top corner. Middlesbrough finish with a flourish, and it is a day to forget for Luton Town. Second in the game for Finn Azaz. He's on a hat-trick. Middlesbrough 5, Luton 1.
Oh my goodness, can I change my goal of the season? Wow, what a finish it is from Finn Azaz. He gets it right at the left-hand point of the 18-yard box. He's under no pressure whatsoever. He just manipulates the ball onto his right-hand side. There's not really any pressure on him there, but he strikes it well. It was always going away from Kaminsky into that top right-hand corner. I tell you what, it's a fantastic goal, isn't it, from Azaz? Struck it ever so well.
Oohs and ahs from the Middlesbrough fans as they saw it again on the big screen. Some of them were having a look at the monitors in our commentary position as well, just craning their necks to have a look. It's 5-1 to Middlesbrough, and Finn Azaz crowns off a super day for the home team and Michael Carrick's side. And I think a 4-goal deficit between the two teams is a fair reflection. Equaliser for Harrogate at home to Morecambe, who are bottom of the Football League. James Daly in the 86th minute has made it 1-1. And Finn Azaz now on a hat-trick with 2 minutes plus whatever added time is left to go. Dyke-Steele hammers the ball into touch. He was caught late by Chong. That was accidental, I think. And Dyke-Steele has stayed down. He certainly was the man who bore the brunt of that 50-50 challenge. But what a bit of placement from Finn Azaz, Chris. Exquisite placement from the former Aston Villa man, who has to be one of the best attacking talents in the Championship, I think.
Yeah, fantastic quality, isn't it? You look at a couple of assists, a couple of goals today. Real quality on the ball. I think you can't allow a player like Finn Azaz any time, anywhere on the pitch, because it can hurt you if it's creating for others. But it just shows you have to make sure that you get touch tight to him in the box as well, because he'll punish you. What a goal that is, Joe. What a goal.
The ball is back with Luton goalkeeper Kaminsky. A heavy pass forward to the feet of Nakamba, who had to dart away from 2 in red. So Middlesbrough 5, Luton 1 on TalkSport 2. Stay with us. We'll be off to the capital next, London Stadium, for an important game already in the early season Premier League relegation battle, West Ham against Everton. You feel that's vital for Julian Lopetegui in particular, under real pressure already, having replaced David Moyes in the summer. Full commentary on TalkSport 2 to come, and if you want Around the Grounds, you can just switch over to TalkSport. Just download our app and you can swipe left and right between both stations. Last minute of normal time here. Luton bedraggled, beleaguered and heavily beaten. McGuinness, midway inside his own half, turns away from Conway. You can just cut through that Luton back line with such ease today, Chris. There's not an ounce of steel about them at the back, as McGuinness goes long and it's headed away by Clark. And in that sense, that's not really on Rob Edwards, is it? Really? They just need to defend better.
Yeah, well, it's one of them. They have to be prepared for every scenario, and I think that's where you ask questions of Rob Edwards. I think, yes, set them up not to concede a goal, set them up to put that pressure on, but when they concede, they still have to know how to manage the game and how to get themselves back in the game, and that's something that was very, very lacking, wasn't it?
Looks like a late winner for Carlisle United away at Salford City. They lead 1-0. That's a big goal for Carlisle, who have been struggling since Mike Williamson took charge. York have a fourth. The National League leaders lead Hartlepool 4-1 as we go into 3 added minutes here at the Riverside Stadium. 5-1 to Middlesbrough. And Cardiff 1, Blackburn 3. The latest score in South Wales. Lewis Baker, the former Stoke City man, has surely sealed all 3 points for Blackburn Rovers, and that has got them back on the front foot after a sticky patch of late for John Eustace's team. Clark edge of the penalty area for Luton, can't take a touch away from Dykesdale, who sent it back to Dieng, the goalkeeper. Dieng clears high and long, and it looks like Middlesbrough have had the final say. Lots of empty red seats now at the Riverside as the home supporters head for the exits. They know the job has long been done. It was done after 55 minutes, Chris Wellerman.
Yes, it was. I think the start of the second half just started in the same vein that the first half finished, and they controlled the game. Some really good quality goals in behind, asking being that threat. Latin Laugh, Doak, Bergzog, everyone was playing their part. That intensity was there.
We are nearly halfway through the 3 added minutes at the end of the game. Luton just happy to hear the final whistle, no doubt. They have won a free kick on the far side, midway into Middlesbrough territory. Tom Krause is over the ball. Straight to London Stadium once we're done here. And then on Talk Sport tonight, live and exclusive Premier League football from Anfield as the leaders Liverpool host Aston Villa. And before that, we'll be able to have your say, Middlesbrough and Luton fans, on the game day phone-in. Free kick to Luton. This might be the last play of the game. In by Clark, headed away by Matt Clark, the Middlesbrough defender, and then hooked downfield by Azaz, away from danger. Last minute of added time. 5-1 Middlesbrough lead. Moses goes all the way back to McCamber. He's got the goalkeeper Kaminsky square. Kaminsky almost playing as a centre half. Luton started relatively brightly in possession, Chris, but really ever since they went that goal down after half an hour, it was a slump. They just folded after that.
Well, that's what happens, when there's very little confidence in the team. Yeah, when you're on top, you're 0-0, you're being competitive, but you have to be ready to react in the right way. And the goal did come against the run of play, so that takes it even extra stuffing out of you. So, but they've got big characters, they've got leaders in this squad, and I've got to say they've not led by example, and I think that's where they need to go again.
Luton have it now with McCamber. Barely 10 seconds of added time to go. 5-1 down. Chong steers it square to Krause. Krause with a high floated cross. It's overhit. It's behind for a goal kick, and that is the final whistle as Middlesbrough underline their promotion credentials with a thumping victory over a dreadful Luton side. And questions will be asked of Rob Edwards. The pressure will continue to grow on the Luton head coach after relegation from the Premier League last season. Luton have made a very poor start to life back in the Championship. They sit outside the bottom 3 on goal difference only, but Middlesbrough goes soaring into 6th after hitting 5 this lunchtime. 9 goals in the space of 2 matches for Michael Carrick's team, and a super display all round. All 5 goals were of excellent quality. 2 for Bergzorg, 2 for Azaz. Probably the goal of the game, maybe the goal of the weekend in the Championship from Emmanuel Latte-Lath. Jordan Clark's effort off the bench for Luton, the merest consolation, but a 5-star show from Middlesbrough. They've beaten Luton by 5 goals to 1.